Welcome back to Further Solutions Academy. Further Solutions Academy. On this video, I'll be walking you through on cyclic permutation. Now, it's a very simple part of mathematics, which is under permutation. You know, permutation, or that normally we apply it on probability distribution. Now, don't forget that by the end of this video, you will understand what is called cyclic permutation. We have series of videos on permutation. This is one of them. Now, when we talk about permutation, now, let me quickly write something about permutation. Okay, look at this condition. Now, when you talk about cyclic permutation, just take note of we are talking about a circular things, like a dining table arrangement. Now, in a cyclic permutation, we are concerned about arrangement of what? Of things about a circular object. Object can be, somebody is sitting down like this, somebody is sitting down like this, somebody is sitting down like this. Now, all this is talking about cyclic permutation. Now, note this condition. Now, note these conditions. If there are two conditions and you have to master it very well. The first condition, any different object can be what? Can be arranged in a what? Circular circle round the table. In what? This is when it is round the table, people are sitting like this, it will be n minus 1 bracket of what? Factorial. Before now, I've explained what is called factorial. I've explained what is called permutation itself. Please make sure you get the video before now. They are very important. And now, okay, in a different way. Now, number B, which is number 2, if the objects are fixed in a ring, which can be what? Can be turned over, the number of what? Arrangements is n minus 1 all over 2, which is factorial. Don't forget that. It means if it is fixed in a ring, do you get it now? And you can be able to turn it around. No, that's what I'm going to use here. Now, as an arrangement with the ring, facing on way, or I'm facing one way, will be what? Will be one of the arrangement with the ring turning over. Now, take note of this condition. All what I want to work on this video is based on this place. It's based on this condition. Now, I will give more than, as many I can, to be able to see different pattern, how the question comes. Now, permit me to rub this off. Okay, now, see some problems so that we'll be able to understand all what out. Okay, let's walk along with these two problems. The first one and the second one. And don't forget, before you think of cyclic permutation, your question must contain circular parts, circular ring. All those things are very, very important. Anytime you are solving a problem or you're in an exam hall, you see a question that has what? Circular something. Look at this question. It has around a circular table. Look at this question. Circular ring. Now, all these things, it shows that you are working towards what? Cyclic permutation. Now, let's try to solve this particular problem, and let's see how it will come. Now, look at this question. In how many ways can 8 boys be arranged around a circular table? Now, I've told you about there are two conditions. One is fixed, one is not fixed. Now, this one table, you can turn it around. It's not a ring that is fixed, Now, since you cannot turn table around. Now, since you cannot turn it around, it means solution, arrangement in a circular table will be equals to n minus 1 bracket of what? Factorial. Before now, I've explained what is called factorial. Please make sure you check that video for better understanding of factorial. Now, what is my n when n equals to what? we have where n equals to what? How many ways? 8. N equals to 8. Because they are talking about 8 boys. 8 boys. Now it means I'll be talking about n. That will be 8 minus 1 bracket of what? Factorial, which is I'll be having 7 factorial. Now my 7 by factorial by implication will be equals to what? It will be equals to 7 factorial will be equals to 5040. Now that is just it. 5000 and what? 40. Now that is what we are talking about here. Now look at this question. In how many ways can 7 birds of what? Of different colors be what? Now in a circular ring, the same way, the same thing that is happening here. What you just need to do, let's try to solve this particular problem and let's see how it will go. Now, when you're talking about that, you must to understand that we have to understand that a position, let me quickly write a note. I wrote a note here. And their position is to be taken as one. Now the remaining five. Oh, I made a mistake. Sorry, there's a mistake here. Let me quickly check the question very well. Sorry. Okay. Now, for me to solve this question, I don't need to go like that way. What I was supposed to be thinking of, this is a cyclic permutation. This is a cyclic permutation of one ring round a ring, which can be turned over. Now, that is what you just need to know. And I've told you that if we are talking about this, the number of ways of doing this will be equals to n minus what? 1 divided by what? 2 factorial. That is, which is, sorry, I'm trying to explain the second condition. Now, since I know that n minus 1 bracket of what? 2 condition, and my hen is what? My hen is 7. When my hen is equals to what? 7. 7 birds. Now, what I just need to do, I'll be having what? 7 minus 1 divided by 2, this in factorial. Now, since I know that, I'll be having 6 factorial all over 2. Now, I know that 6 factorial is equals to what? It will be equals to, I know very well that my 6 factorial will be 6 multiplied by 5 factorial divided by what? This one will be here 1, here 3. 5 to factorial is 120. 120 times 3, it means I'll be having 3 multiplied by 120, and 120 times 3 will be equals to what? 360. Now, that is just it. That is just it. Now, this explains first condition, and this explains second condition. That's what I want to achieve. Now, because this one is a ring, and this one is a what? Is a table. Ring can be moved around, and the table cannot be what? Moved around. Now, let me try to generate more examples for better understanding. Okay, let's look at this one. At this point, there is condition on this question. Now, it's quite different from those two we did that time. In how many ways can 8 men be what? Seated at a round table? That is, if it is direct question, in how many ways can 8 people can be sitting in the right question? It means that is a direct permutation. And you know, is the first condition, which is n minus 1 or bracket of factorial. Now, there is now question now, if 2 particular men refuse to sit together. Now, there is a problem now because of what? This particular if have turned upside down the what? The problem. Now, let's try to solve this question. Solution to this problem. Solution. Now, the first thing I need to know is that, okay, 8 men sitting in a round table. That is first thing you do. 8 men sitting in a round table. The arrangement will be equals to what? N minus 1 factorial. Now, n minus 1 factorial, which I'll be talking about 8 minus 1 factorial, which sums out 7 factorial. Now, that is, if this is the first condition, first problem, from here to here. Now, I've done that now from here to here. Now, the next say that if 2 particular men refuse to sit together. Now, you must figure out that very well. Now, that is what you need to do. That is condition number 2. If the 2 particular men refuse to sit together, now, the men sit together in a, a man sit together in 2 ways. And together in a 2 ways. And next the remaining arrangement is what? Is in 6 factorial. Now, it means what I'm trying to say is that if those 2 people refuse to take it together, it means they will become one, and you have to take away those things from there. Now, what I will just need to do now is that it will be equals to now 7, which is, if they are to sit together, it will be 7 ways. Now, minus 2 multiplied by what? 6 factorial. Now, how do I get this 6 to factorial? This 6 factorial, listen to me, I'm taking out the 2 people that are not sitting together. Now, multiply by, when you take away 2 from it, it will be 6. Now, it means 6 minus what? Or you do it this way, 2 minus n, 2 minus, or you do this, 2 minus what? 2 multiplied by n minus what? 1 factorial. Now, my n at this point will be what? 7 minus 1, bracket of factorial multiplied by 2. Now, which is going to be what? 6 factorial 2. Anyhow you want to do it, you are good to go. Now, I can now say that what can I do at this junction? It is now time to apply my knowledge of mathematics, which is 6 factorial multiplied by 2. I know that my 6 factorial multiplied by 2 will be, okay, let me indicate that n factorial minus what? Okay, n factorial minus what? This, which is going to be n factorial minus n minus 2 bracket of what? Okay, bracket of factorial. Now, which I'll be having 6 factorial, no, sorry, 6 factorial. Now, since I have this, I can now say that what? I'll be having, this is going to be, no, sorry, This one will be 6 factorial and multiplied by 5, which if I do that, I'll be having 360. Anyway, now since I do that, the family of 7 in the seats. Okay, now I think that is all. That is all. That is all. Now you can see that there are different ways of doing this. The first one, when they are sitting together. The second one, when they refuse to sit together. Now, this minus this, that is what you are trying to do there. Now, the same thing as this, which is to have the pendant. If I move on with this, I'll be having 7 multiplied by 6 factorial minus 2 multiplied by 6 factorial. It means 6 factorial bracket of 7 minus 2. Now, which is I'll be having what 6 factorial and 5 factorial. 5. Can you see this? And the same thing. Now, anyhow you want to do it, you can go this way, you can also go this way, just for you to get the answer. Now, I think I've settled this one. Let me try to solve more questions before I leave this part. Now, let's try to work around with this. Another problem, a family of 7 is to be seated around a table. Don't forget, this is a round table. It's not ring. Take note of those things. That is how to tackle this problem. It's not a ring. It's a what? Table. It means first condition. In how many ways can this be done if the father and the mother are to sit together? If the father and the mother are to sit together. Now, this is a very nice problem. If I'm too fast, please, you can leave a comment below for adjustment. Now, father and mother are to sit together. What you just need to do, father and mother are to sit together. The first thing I will do is that, now, father, let me get it, and the mother sitting together is to be arranged in 2 ways. Now, one, if their position is to be taken at 1 full stop. Okay, at 1. The remaining 5 people plus this 1 making 6 can be arranged in what? Which is arranged in 2 multiplied by 6. It means my n will be 6 minus 1 factorial. Now, where is it 2? Look at it. In a family of 7, is to be what? Seated around the what? Table. Don't forget, around the table. This is what I'm going to do. Around the table is n minus 1 bracket of factorial. Now, around the table, in how many ways can this be what? Be done if the father and mother are to be seated together? Now, at this junction, father and mother become one. Thank God for the family life, where husband and wife become one. It means they are one. It means two of what? Of the number. It means 2 of the number. How many number now? It means we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, father and mother becomes 1. 2 of them, which is going to be what? N. The N will now be 6. 6 minus what? 1, which is going to be like that. Now, which from here, I can now continue by saying 2 multiplied by 5 factorial. And we all know that our 2 multiplied by 5 factorial, 5 factorial is 120. It means 120 multiplied by what? 5, which is going to be what? 240. That is 240. That is the answer. 240. Now, I think I will have to stop here with this example. You should be still able to solve any problems on cyclic permutation. On the next video, I'll be working on permutation of what? Digits. Don't forget, for you to get this permutation very well, you must learn factorial. You must learn what is called factorial. Factorial. Now, you must learn what is called factorial. You must learn what is called permutation, which is definition of permutation. You must learn those things very well, and you'll be fine. Don't forget, you are home with Further Solutions Academy. Once again, thanks for watching.